Alrighty, folks, here we are. Welcome back to the tutorial series. In the last tutorial, we took a step back in the last installment. We took a step back and talked about some decision-making stuff surrounding Ondel. When you leave Ondel, what you're going to do with the rest of your run, how to determine whether you need to take a game over or not to save your run, or whether or not you're good to go. We talked about a lot of stuff. We covered a lot. So moving forward with this run, I'm going to do it as though we did not take a game over. We have one full life in reserve. We have half a health bar right here. And we now have a flame whip, as you can see on screen, that is going to help us melt the shit out of some faces in Laruba. This section is very important. This is one of the least understood sections of the game. And it's also one where you have to think a lot. Based upon your health, how much health you have, you can choose to do faster strategies or safer strategies. The faster strategies generally help you get through much quicker, obviously, and the safer strategies, if you have less health, you don't want to die. Trust me, you do not want to game over before Laruba. If you do, you lose all your hearts, which we talked about extensively in the previous tutorial segment. But I'm going to go over all of this. I'm going to go over all of this with you, and we can have those talks. So we're going to start here. First thing we're going to do is start here. I'm going to save myself a save state. Okay, and we're going to start right here. We're going to do this clip. This clip is fun. We jump up on this purple block, and I talked about this in my glitches video as well, but we're going to go over it here too. Clipping is very similar. If you remember what we did in Brahms right after we got the second oak stake in Brahms before we headed to Ondel, which was only a few sessions ago, we're going to do a similar thing here, but it's actually easier to set up. There's no camera stuff to mess with. It's simply a factor of clipping from a moving block into a non-moving block, and it pushes you into the hitbox, etc. It's pretty easy to understand, but all we're going to do is jump on this blue block here, and we're going to put ourselves between free of and inside of that block right in front of us there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right here. Okay, watch this. See how it kind of raises us up like that? We're going to jump, and then it clips us up there. See that? You can try it out. I talk about it in the glitch video quite a bit too. So try that out. If it doesn't work the first time like that, just move back and forth a little bit and keep trying. Sometimes the pixels get a little funny. You got to try a few different locations, but for the most part, it's okay. Next section is pretty important. When I get to the second block from the end, I will jump, and that will put me down on a lower block. You don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I do it. So I jump from right here up, and then I do a double whip here. You don't have to do it that way. Other people do it other ways, but that's the way I do it. This next screen is really important. When you exit this screen, if you remember, I was talking about before we went to Brahms, when you or even on the way to Ondel, there's another time when you do it too. When you're on your way to Ondel, you go into that screen, and as soon as the screen transition starts, when it turns black, you just start mashing jump. And that'll drop you in between these xenomorph and the skeleton to be able to whip them back and forth and not take any damage. You're going to do the same thing on this screen. All we're going to do as soon as the screen turns black is start mashing jump and holding left. Okay. So, what that's going to do, and I may do a save state right here. Yeah, I'm going to do a save state right here. What that's going to do is it's going to have us jump up in the air, and we're going to take a boost. And as soon as we land, we're going to do a quick jump whip, just like we would with Carmela. We talked about that a little bit in the last video, how that's that jump whip that it goes like this. And that's how you get that whip. That's two whips in the air on the way up and on the way down, way up and the way down. It's just that. So we're going to do that thing here. We're going to hold mash into the room. We're going to take our boost. As soon as we land, we're going to do that pattern, A, B, B, that jump whip. It's like a slide. B. It's like a slide. Okay, we're going to try that. So walking in here and start mashing, take the boost, and then do that jump whip up and down like that. And that puts us through there, only taking minimal damage. I do the same thing here. Well, not quite the same, but now here's where you got to start making decisions, because you can use some of these enemies here to take damage boosts, or you can stand and whip them, and it loses time 20 frames every time you do a standing whip. But there's enemies coming up here that we can use for boosts if we want to. So where I am with my health right now, I feel like I can take a couple of boosts and be okay. So because I feel that way, I'm confident in what I know. I'm going to try to take 3 boosts on the way to the swamp. And only 3. If I take more than 3, I'm kind of screwed. So we'll see what we can do. So here's the first one. 1, 2, 3. Now I have 3 health, and that might have been too much, actually. Yep, that was too much. Well, I should have jumped. Okay, so that was a little greedy, but that's good. It's good to have that information. It's good to have that experience of what can happen. So 3 pips of health, maybe not. If you have 3 pips of health like we just did, you may want to jump a little bit going through that swamp. Good information. Let's try that screen again. Once again, mash as you enter the screen, and then do the slide whip, the slide whip B thing on the way up to kill the other Steve flying at us. So let's try that again. Mash, pop, up, down. And we did not get it that time, so we took 2 boosts because we missed that first whip. So that means that we are very low on health at this point. So I wouldn't even try the boosts here. Unless they're easy to get, like maybe this one will be an easy one. Yeah. There we go. So now we have 5 health. We can go straight through. We can actually take this boost here too now. And then we just walk up here and take a hit, and now we end our life. Down to our last life here. And then we're going to jump. Now this is our last life. Because we did not take the game over in Ondel, this is now our last life. So knowing that, we're going to have to get all the way to Laruba, through Laruba, by the second oak stake before we lose this life. And as you can see, we've only got 5 pips of health going into Laruba. Okay? Okay, that is the section that we are covering today. So we're going to try that whole section one more time. And we will have some discussions on it. And we're going to go through it a couple of times with some different strategies. And then we'll get into Laruba next, in the next segment, the next installment. So once again, mash, jump up whip, down whip. There you go. You take one damage boost there, and that's ideal. Now here you'll whip on the way down and then jump, whip, and whip on the way up. That guy right there is pretty easy. Right now I'm not taking any damage. You can choose not to take any damage boosts and just whip everything. But as you can see, every time you do that, it costs you 2/3 of a second, or 40 at a bare minimum 2/3 of a second to kill one guy if you lose no frames. Each one of those takes each kill there takes at least 2/3 of a second. 40 frames per whip. So when you get to this point, now you're here. The boost here is you just go under him and then jump as he's coming down. If you haven't taken enough damage to get killed on the first thing, you can just duck right next to him, no matter how much life you have. And then you start here, and we're good to go now. And we do the same thing. Oh, see, I made a mistake there. I did not have the rib equipped, and I did not time that up properly. So that means that we're going to get to Laruba with only 3 pips of health. And in this next installment, you're going to see why that is a problem. We can still beat it, but it's not going to be easy. So once again, mash, whip up, whip down. Perfect. We're going to want to do the same thing here. And here we'll do 1 boost here. That was not the boost I wanted to do. That was not even a boost. It was a knockback. Okay. But we will take the leech boost. This is a little leech here. We'll take that leech boost. And now all we got to do is, boom, dead. And now we have a full life, our last life. Kill this guy if you want to. And oftentimes I'll equip the rib here. And you'll see why, because you saw a minute ago, did not want to take that hit. That was unfortunate. But if this guy's here and we're jumping, he can't hit us if we're in the air holding the rib. Also notice that if you're going through the swamp and you're real low on health, you can do this jump thing. Watch how little life I lose by doing this. See that? It just takes a ton of time, but we just saved ourselves. We gave ourselves 2 more hits in Laruba. We can get hit twice more in Laruba because we just took that extra second there. And we're going to cover Laruba, like I said, in detail. But as of right now, we have a great heart count, 46 hearts entering Laruba. We have 5 pips of health, which is plenty if you know the mansion. So that's a good spot. So let's do this. Let's go back here. I want to go for this clip one more time. I don't have a save state saved right here, but we'll go ahead and do this clip one more time, because I kind of want to cover this clip a little bit. So after you get your shit, see right there, it's not working, right? See, I'm just tap, 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 tap. It's not working. So if it's not working, you can just change your angle a little bit, change your orientation to the bricks, and you will work your way back up. See that? All right, and then remember, second brick, jump, jump again, whip on the way up, whip when you land. And then remember, mash. Okay, I fucked that up. So you don't want to do that. So mash, and as soon as you land, take that. Practice that. Hard to do it that way, but I can do it if I'm holding it with my thumb. But yeah, it's just I can do it with my thumb fine. Anyway, practice that. Practice that, because you're going to need that in a few places. This is one of them. Because that part's got to be done that way. I mean, you can find another way to do it, but it's literally the best way to do it. Because you're taking 1 damage boost here, which just saves you time, and you're killing that guy without having to stop. So you're just holding left the entire time. And if you don't want to take the damage, you can, like I said, kill all these guys. Whatever. You can just do that if you want. And then if you want to take the leech boost, take the leech boost. And then we can die right there and then start our journey. Now again, if you took the game over in Ondol, you still want to take a death here in this middle. You want to take that death right there, I promise you. Even if you're on a full health and you get to that island and it's like, oh, I've only lost 3 pips of health. Trust me, take the death. Anything goes sideways in that swamp, you take a death, you got to start all the way back from that island again. So, but if you have, look, I'll even show you. Like, we'll just go ahead and just take a game over right here, and I'll show you. If you get there with perfect health, this is what will happen. So here's what we got. We got this much health, right? Oh, sorry. Oh fuck! Did I do it? I just did. I screwed it up. That's okay. We'll just see if we can floor drop. Practice that death floor drop right there. We talked about in the last one. Okay. So now we'll start here. Let's go ahead and set a save state. And we'll just play this screen as normal. Okay, took 2 boosts there on accident because I didn't miss on that first whip. It's okay. Just, we lost a little bit of health. No problem. And let's say you take absolutely no damage through here. Oops. Well, that damage. Okay, we have almost a full health bar here, right? Trust me, take the death. Take the death. Boost, whatever you got to do, take this death. Do not try to get across this swamp. See, look how much life I had left. All you have to do is walk up to the guy and duck, and it kills you no matter how much life you have, or lack thereof. Full life bar, dead. See? So yeah, take the death. You have a full set of health here. Good. If you want to, put the rib on. If you want to, put the golden knife on. Oh, we don't have any health. We don't have any hearts right now, but we took all those game overs. But yeah, just play this thing the right way. We got the rib, so we can jump and save ourselves a little health. If you don't feel comfortable in Laruba, then jump through the swamp a little bit. Give yourself 6 instead of 4 pips going in. You know what I mean? Here we go. We got 5 now. We're good. You should be okay with 5. We'll talk more about that when we get to the Laruba thing. But anyway, that's the idea. The idea is know what you got, learn these few little tough spots like that right there. You want to learn those inputs. And you want to know whether you can take damage boosts or not. Because if you're taking damage boosts, it actually, watch how much time this saves over having to stand and whip all these. Watch this. It saves so much time over standing and whipping. And of course, the other thing to consider is, do you have hearts? Like, do you need to collect hearts because you're low on hearts? If that's the case, then obviously the damage boosting is probably not going to be the best scenario. But okay, so I missed the up whip and I took 2 damage boosts there, which is not intentional, but it's okay. Doesn't even slow you down. Take a boost here if you want to. Whatever, that was not a boost. That was a mistake. But if you can take the boost, like, do it, because it saves a lot of time. Let's see if I can do max boosting here. I'll try to boost off everything. Except this one guy right here. I can't boost off this guy. Boost off this guy. I couldn't boost off that guy either. Yeah, I missed the boost there. And then we'll take the boost off this guy. And so if you have full health, take all the boosts you can. If they're gonna boost you forward and not back, just take the fucking boosts. And then die there, still with plenty of health left. But go ahead and die there. You know what I mean? And then start fresh. You got an extra life in the tank. If you took the game over, you got 2 lives in the tank. Just play it smart. Don't do anything dumb. Because if you don't take that death there, let's see how good we can be here. Let's see how clean we can play. Still not take the boost. No, we're not going to take any boosts. This is almost as clean as you can possibly play this screen. We're not even going to take this leech boost here. We're just going to walk like normal. Not going to take a hit. Oh, we took a hit. Now watch what happens if we try to get across here. See what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Take the death, unless it's your last life. And if it's your last life, then you better do a lot of jumping. Which, if you're jumping the whole way, absolutely you can make it across with very little life. That's unfortunate. That's okay. We're going to take the death anyway. But yeah, just take the death. Do yourself a favor. But let's see how much life we can get across here with if we jump the whole way. So we know that from here, if we just do it the normal way, we get in there with between 4 and 5 pips of health if we just go the normal way. Let's even equip the rib so we can be sure not to take any damage. I'll show you how much life you save. It's a lot, trust me. It's going to cost us 20 seconds, maybe more, maybe 25 seconds, but look how much life you save. So if it is your last life and you get to that center center island there, and you're 30 seconds ahead, if you want to just keep the run going, there you go. Now you're entering Laruba with plenty of life. But you just lost 30 seconds or more. So, mash. Whip on the way up, whip on the way. Hey, that was okay. We took a second boost, but not a big deal. Obviously not ideal, but certainly not a problem. There we go. 2 boosts there. We just took every single boost on that screen. That's kind of cool. There you go. That's ideal for this strategy. Obviously, so everybody's got a different strategy. This is mine. I teach you what I know. What works for me. Everybody's got something that works for them. I'm just showing you what works for me. I took every boost on that screen, and it saved a lot of time. Believe it or not, that saves a ton of time. Because you're not having to stand and whip and all that stuff. Take the death. Switch to rib if you want. and go. You do not want to take leech boosts here. Let's say you get here and you're like, okay, I'm past this last leech. I want to get there with 5 pips of health and 6 pips of health instead of 4 or whatever. We just got there with 6 because you took an extra second to do some jumping. Not a problem. So anyway, I know this is a very short section of the game and it seems like I ran over it a bunch of times, but I want you to understand, depending on where you're at with your health and your life count, the way you run this screen is very different. So we almost have 2 diverging routes here that we're doing at the same time. I'm showing you the path through both the game over route and the YOLO route. I'm just hoping that once we get into Laruba, it doesn't matter. But this section in particular, from Ondel to Laruba, depending on where you're at with health and lives, you will play this section very differently. So anyway, hope you learned something from this. Come back and see us on the next tutorial segment where we'll be doing Laruba Mansion. Laruba Mansion is next and should be a whole lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Y'all have a good one and we'll see you next video.